Do you know what the best JavaScript diagramming library for creating production-grade applications in React is? Well, yesterday the answer would have been completely different, but today the answer is JointJS. We've just released the first class React integration for JointJS called appropriately JointJS for React. It provides real components and hooks for building complex diagramming apps with full control over data model, rendering, and interactions. Let me show you how it works. JointJS for React is a native React integration for JointJS, a diagramming library that has been powering diagramming applications used by millions of people for over a decade, from data modelers to AI workflow builder apps. Until now, if you wanted to use JointJS in React applications, you needed workarounds with useEffect, useRef, and more silly things that are not really a native React way. This is what it looks like in the code. You need useRef to actually reference the DOM element, and you wrap the entire thing in the useEffect, and of course you have to do manual cleanup. The result is a simple diagram canvas with a single diagram element. Let me show you what this simple application looks like if we create it with new JointJS for React integration. I'll switch to the JointJS for React file, and the first thing that you'll notice here is that instead of 40 plus lines of code, we're actually dealing with only 20 lines of code, which is a pretty big difference. And the beautiful thing is that we're actually using React here as we want to be using it. So we're importing graph provider and paper from joint React package. Then we're setting up initial cells. This is going to be standard JointJS rectangle type. We position it on the canvas, size it, and we add custom attributes. And the text on our node is going to be hello from JointJS for React. To render that on screen, we need graph provider from JointJS React package. Graph provider component holds the diagram data, so everything from your diagram will live within it. And that's exactly why we are setting up initial cells to the array we created before, this simple element. And then we are actually rendering a paper. This is the canvas where everything happens within JointJS. And this is all you need to actually render this rectangle on JointJS canvas. Let's jump back into the browser. And here on the canvas, we have one element, one node on JointJS paper. And of course, it reads hello from JointJS for React, exactly as we stated in the code. And now I want to show you a demo we created specifically to showcase JointJS for React. The link to this demo will of course be in the description as well. This is AI Workflow Builder created in JointJS Plus. Let me quickly tell you what the difference is between JointJS and JointJS Plus, or rather JointJS for React and JointJS Plus for React. So JointJS is an open source version of the library. It's community driven. It gives you the core SVG and HTML rendering engine, a solid API, and the building blocks for flowcharts, diagrams, and more. It's available on GitHub. The link is going to be in the description as well. So check it out. And if you find it useful, please give it a star on GitHub. It helps us reach more people and invest more resources into building it. JointJS Plus, or JointJS Plus for React, on the other hand, is the commercial extension of the JointJS library. It's built on the same core engine as the open source version, but adds a number of features, a number of benefits, ready-to-use UI plugins for panning, zooming, context menus, navigation, maps, and many more that will massively help you cut down the development time of your production-grade apps. JointJS Plus, of course, includes everything that JointJS does, and if you're using it, you won't have to import JointJS. You'll just import JointJS Plus for React in this example, and you'll have everything that is available in JointJS open source version of the library in JointJS Plus for React as well. This demo features a number of advanced JointJS Plus features. That's why I'm mentioning that this is JointJS Plus app. The core can be built in JointJS open source version of the library, but this demo features many advanced UI features. I encourage you to open the demo and play around with it. It works really well, and it will show you exactly what is possible to create in JointJS. Now, this demo in particular is a visual interface for designing AI agents. AI workflow builders are one of the great use cases for diagramming apps because they allow you to very easily understand what is happening in your application. They allow you to build workflows very easily, so it's pretty much immediately clear what happens in your application. You have the text input. This goes into AI agent, and then you get a formatted output. But let's run this workflow so I can show you exactly what it looks like and what the power of JointJS in this context is. Before we run it, I'm going to mention that you can actually pick the AI agent you want to use. By default, a mock is selected so you can see what the result might be, but you can switch to an actual AI agent like OpenAI or Anthropic. You can very easily configure it and connect it. I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to show you what it looks like if we run the mock version of this workflow. So I'll zoom out a bit and hit run. And now you see that this workflow is running in real time. Let's run it again. All of this just visually shows you what is happening in your application in real time, and that is precisely the power of JointJS. You get an output exactly as you expect. And let me just quickly mention a few of the advanced JointJS features that we have built into this app so you can see exactly what a serious diagramming library should do for you. You've already seen me zooming in and zooming out. This works really smooth and it's very performant. By the way, I'm just going to mention JointJS works really well at massive scales, at massive production grade applications. And I'm going to link another video in the description below that showcases exactly how powerful JointJS is in terms of performance, where we're actually rendering more than 100,000 nodes, elements on the screen, and it works flawlessly. The same engine, JointJS, is used for JointJS for React as well. So performance is going to be top notch. And if you're working on serious production grade applications, then, well, you should pick JointJS. Apart from the most important fluid interactions like zooming in, zooming out, and panning, we actually have advanced features like undo and redo. And if you ever try to implement undo or redo and you know how complicated it is to get it right, they're just so many nuances, and you want a library to handle this for you. And then we have a really nice snap lines feature here that allows you to really nicely align elements. So as I'm dragging around, you see that the snap lines are appearing to center elements, one right underneath the other. It works really well, and you're going to be able to really nicely align your diagrams that way. For example, like this. Giving your users an option to switch from light to dark mode is, of course, integrated into JointJS. It's really trivial and works, as you clearly see, pretty great. Then you have a number of settings on the grid, on the canvas paper in JointJS itself. You can see those right here. So you can switch from infinite canvas to sheets. So you can see exactly what this will look like if it's printed. JointJS has a strong graph model behind it. So you can very easily export your data or your diagram in any format that you want, from JSON to XML or even PDF or an image for printing to use in your presentations. And that's exactly where the Sheets option comes in. You can see page breaks so you can know exactly what this will look like if you export it in an image. And for example, if you want to print it for a specific presentation size. And another thing that I want to highlight here is that we made sure that this demo is as accessible as possible, because for your applications, for your own use cases, accessibility is not only a legal requirement that can get you into a lot of trouble if you don't get it right, but also you will reach more users, which is always a good and positive thing. You can check the accessibility results directly if you click this check accessibility button, but I'll just show you that, for example, everything works with keyboard exactly as you expect. If you want to add a note onto a canvas, you just hit enter and you're immediately there. You can reposition it with your arrow keys, and all commands are available. If you just tap through it, you can connect new agent, you can connect it to existing agent if possible, and essentially it works exactly as you want. And I think it's a nice showcase of what a serious diagramming library needs to do. Take accessibility seriously, because you need it in your applications. There are way too many fantastic features in JointJS and JointJS Plus to showcase them all here, but I do want to mention that you don't have to spend any development time building those features from scratch. You get them with JointJS library, and you can go from basically nothing to full diagramming app with advanced, complex, production-grade features in minutes or hours based on the complexity of your use case. And of course, you do want to check out the source code. It's available on the GitHub. Link is, of course, going to be in the description as well. So if you want to quickly start with it, clone it, add it into your local development environment and ask your AI coding agent to give you a quick overview of how this app was created, and you'll get a nice summary of everything you need to know. And speaking of AI coding agents, this is probably one of the quickest and best ways to get started with JointJS for React. Just clone this demo and tell your AI coding agent to tweak it exactly as you want. JointJS Plus for React is built in TypeScript, so your AI coding agent will be able to very easily pick up exactly how JointJS for React works and give you exactly the code that you need. But the better option, I already mentioned it, is to install JointJS MCP server, which gives you direct access to JointJS up-to-date documentation, which will give you correct quality code. Another great way to get started with JointJS for React is to jump into our documentation and go through the quick start guide. It takes you through everything you need to know to start building JointJS apps in React. And you don't have to know the core library to get started with it. Every concept, every relevant concept from JointJS is explained directly in the quick start guide for JointJS for React. So if you've never used JointJS, you can start with JointJS for React, finish our quick start guide, and you'll be up to speed and ready to build serious production grade diagramming applications. Thank you so much for watching this. My name is Aranyambar. I'm a developer advocate in JointJS, and I will see you in another JointJS for React video. Until then, happy diagramming.